Alice Kingsley, a young woman of great spirit, returned to London after years of sailing the high seas. She had followed in her father's footsteps, becoming a skilled captain herself. But London held a cold welcome. Her father's shipping company was in ruins. A cunning businessman, Hamish, planned to take it all. Alice refused to let this happen. She confronted Hamish, her eyes blazing with determination. He simply laughed, reminding her of her impossible situation. Dejected and lost, Alice stumbled upon a silver hand mirror. It called to her, whispering of impossible things. Without hesitation, Alice stepped into the mirror. The world dissolved around her, twisting and turning. When she opened her eyes, she found herself in a strange new land, Wonderland, a place she thought she'd left behind forever. Wonderland was a dizzying spectacle of talking flowers and nonsensical creatures. Yet a shadow hung over this fantastical world. Alice could feel it in the rustling leaves and the whispering wind. She soon found her old friend, the Mad Hatter, but he was not the same. His usual cheer was replaced by a deep sadness. The Hatter's family, he explained, had vanished, erased from existence. He believed the only way to save them was to travel back in time. Alice, with her compassionate heart, vowed to help. She would brave any danger to reunite the Hatter with his loved ones. Their journey led them to a grand clock face, ticking ominously in the middle of a vast, empty plain. This, the Hatter explained, was the domain of time. Only time, he said, could control the past. Time, a majestic figure with gears whirring beneath his skin, stood tall and imposing, his presence both awe-inspiring and intimidating. He listened intently to the Hatter's tale, his eyes reflecting the weight of countless ages. The Hatter spoke of a terrible day. A day when his family was lost forever, a day that haunted his every waking moment. It was a day he desperately wanted to change, a day he wished he could erase from the annals of time. But time shook his head, his expression grave and unyielding, as if the weight of the universe rested upon his shoulders. The past, time boomed, his voice echoing across the empty plain, cannot be changed lightly. It is a delicate thread in the tapestry of existence. To alter it is to risk unraveling the very fabric of existence, a fabric woven with the lives and destinies of countless beings. He warned Alice and the Hatter of the dangers, of the catastrophic consequences that could follow such an alteration. Despite the risks, Alice refused to give up hope. Her resolve was unshakable, her spirit unyielding. She pleaded with time, her voice filled with emotion, her eyes brimming with tears. She spoke of love, loss, and the unending pain of the Hatter. The Hatter's family, she argued passionately, deserved a second chance. They deserved to be saved from their tragic fate. Time, moved by Alice's determination and heartfelt plea, finally agreed to help, though his agreement was reluctant. But he gave them a stern warning, his eyes darkening with the gravity of his words. One wrong move, he cautioned, could have disastrous consequences. Consequences that could ripple through time and space, altering reality itself. Time transformed the world around them into a giant chessboard. Alice found herself a pawn in a bizarre, high-stakes game. The goal, Time explained, was to reach the other side of the board. There, they would find the Chronosphere, a device capable of traveling through time. But their path was fraught with danger. The Red Queen, a tyrant obsessed with order and control, ruled this chessboard world. She had no love for Alice or the Hatter, viewing them as disruptors of her perfect realm. With each step, Alice faced new challenges, talking flowers with razor-sharp teeth, giant chess pieces that moved with thunderous roars, and always the Red Queen watched from her castle, her eyes burning with a cold fire. Alice quickly learned the rules of the Red Queen's game. Every move had to follow the strict laws of chess. Every encounter was a test of wit and courage. The Red Queen delighted in Alice's struggles, seeing them as a form of entertainment. One by one, Alice overcame each obstacle. She outsmarted a cunning knight, calmed a raging rook, and even befriended a gentle bishop. Her determination never wavered, fueled by her desire to help the Hatter. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Alice and the Hatter reached the other side of the board. The Chronosphere, a shimmering sphere of light, awaited them. But their victory was short-lived. The Red Queen appeared, her face contorted in fury. Section 6. Shattered Reflections. In the heart of the enchanted realm, where reality and fantasy intertwined, the air was thick with tension. The Red Queen unleashed her fury on Alice and the Hatter, accusing them of treason. Her voice echoed through the halls, filled with venom and wrath. She claimed they had broken the laws of time, disrupted the balance of her world. The very fabric of her kingdom seemed to tremble with her rage, as if the universe itself was responding to her anger. But Alice stood her ground, her voice firm and unwavering. She was not just a visitor in this world, she was a warrior, ready to fight for what was right. She had come to help her friend, she declared, and nothing would stop her. A fierce battle ensued, with magic and might clashing in a spectacular display of power. The chessboard world trembled as the Red Queen's power clashed with Alice's determination. Each move was a test of will, each strike a testament to their resolve. But in the end, it was Alice who prevailed. Her courage and tenacity shone through, illuminating the darkness that had enveloped the realm. With a flick of her wrist and a whisper of magic, she shattered the Red Queen's control over the Chronosphere. The spell was broken, and the oppressive grip of the Queen's power began to fade. The world around them dissolved, pulling Alice back through the looking glass. The once vibrant and chaotic realm now seemed to melt away, leaving behind a sense of peace and resolution. She tumbled through a vortex of swirling colors and distorted images, the echo of the Red Queen's rage ringing in her ears. The journey back was a whirlwind of sensations, a kaleidoscope of memories and emotions. And then she landed with a thud on the cold, hard floor of her London home. The familiar surroundings brought a sense of relief, yet the adventure she had just experienced lingered in her mind, a reminder of the strength she had discovered within herself. Section 7. A Doctor's Orders. Alice was back in her own world, but she was different. The journey had changed her. She was stronger, more confident, but she was also haunted by the memory of the Hatter and his lost family. She had failed them, she thought, her heart heavy with guilt. Her family, worried by her strange behavior, summoned a doctor. He diagnosed Alice with female hysteria, a catch-all term for any ailment they couldn't explain. He prescribed rest and quiet, hoping to cure her of her fantastical tales of Wonderland. But Alice knew the truth. Wonderland was real, the Hatter was real, and she had made a promise. She would not rest, she decided, until she had fulfilled her vow. She would find a way back to Wonderland, no matter the cost. Section 8. Back to the Looking Glass. That night, Alice snuck out of her house and returned to the dusty attic. There, hidden amongst her father's old belongings, was the silver hand mirror. It shimmered faintly in the moonlight, beckoning her back to Wonderland. Taking a deep breath, Alice stepped through the looking glass once more. This time she was ready. She knew the dangers that awaited her, she knew the challenges she would face, but she also knew the importance of her mission. Wonderland welcomed her back with open arms. The flowers swayed in greeting, and the creatures of this fantastical realm cheered her return. They had been waiting for her, they said. They knew she would be back. Section 9. Time's up. The ticking of the clock echoed in Alice's mind, a constant reminder of the urgency of her mission. Alice raced against time itself to reach the Chronosphere. Her heart pounded in her chest as she sprinted through the mystical forest, the trees whispering secrets of the past and future. She navigated the treacherous landscape of Wonderland, her every step guided by her unwavering resolve. The path was fraught with dangers, from hidden traps to deceptive illusions. But Alice's determination never wavered. The Red Queen's forces tried to stop her, but Alice was prepared. She had trained for this moment, honing her skills and sharpening her mind. The guards were formidable, but Alice's agility and quick thinking allowed her to outmaneuver them. She had faced her fears, overcome her doubts. Each challenge she had faced in Wonderland had made her stronger, more resilient. She was no longer the scared girl who had first stumbled into this strange and wonderful world. She was no longer the scared girl who had first stumbled into this strange and wonderful world. Now, she was a warrior, a protector of those she loved. Finally, she reached the Chronosphere. The glowing orb pulsed with energy, a beacon of hope in the midst of chaos. With a surge of energy, she activated the device, her mind focused on the moment the Hatter's family had vanished. She could feel the power of the Chronosphere coursing through her, connecting her to the very fabric of time itself. The world around her dissolved once more, replaced by a whirlwind of colors and sounds. It was as if she was being transported through the very essence of time, each moment a vivid tapestry of light and sound. When the chaos subsided, Alice found herself standing before the Hatter's house. The quaint cottage looked just as she remembered, but there was a warmth to it now that hadn't been there before, but this time it was filled with laughter and warmth. The sound of the Hatter's family laughing together was like music to her ears, a symphony of joy and love. The Hatter's family, whole and happy, embraced him tightly. Alice had done it, she had saved them. The sight of their reunion brought tears to her eyes, a testament to the power of love and determination. As Alice prepared to return to her own world, the Hatter took her hand, his eyes filled with gratitude. His grip was firm, a silent promise of eternal friendship and gratitude. "You saved us, Alice," he said, his voice thick with emotion. His words were simple, but they carried the weight of 1,000 unspoken thanks. "You gave us back our happily ever after." The Hatter's eyes shone with tears, and Alice knew that she had given them a gift beyond measure. And in that moment, Alice knew that her journey had been worth it. Every trial, every hardship had led to this moment of pure, unadulterated joy. She had not only saved the Hatter's family, but she had also found her own happily ever after. The journey had transformed her, revealing strengths she never knew she possessed. She had found her purpose. In saving others, she had discovered her own path, a destiny intertwined with the magic of Wonderland. She had found her courage, she had found herself, and as she stood there bathed in the light of the Chronosphere, Alice knew that she was ready for whatever the future held.